Hey everybody, welcome back. We have another timed workout today. Hopefully you're not getting sick of the timer yet. I think I'm still enjoying it. So we are going to be on a 30-second timer with hopefully heavy loads. So we're going to hit up legs today. And I have a set of 40s, a set of 50s, and a 28 kilo kettlebell, brand new kettlebell that I'm going to put to use for my squats. We are going to do a low slider lunge. That shouldn't be quite as heavy. In fact, I'm going to go body weight for that one. So if your knees and hips and everything are feeling fantastic and wonderful, then maybe grab 15s or 20s, 25s at the most, is what I would probably grab. I think I was doing them with 25s. But anyway, I had some new insights on my knee. Everything's fine, but I just need to lay out for a little bit. Imagine that. So we're still going to go with this. We're going to hit 30 seconds of work and 20 seconds of rest. Let's go ahead and lay on the back and get some warm up going. So I want each of you to kind of think about what you can do in terms of your maximum weight and your maximum range. So take whatever kind of pace you would like here, pull one knee in and push the other leg long. Get some nice movement through the hips, tugging the knee in, getting kind of some push and pull through the hips either side and the pelvis. And then let's go ahead and rock and roll our way up and go into our Z sit. So once you're in your sit, if your right leg is back, just have that hip rotate up that knee. So we'll go for 5. So different ones of us are dealing with different things, obviously, but try to push your range into a healthy place. If you can get a little bit more range, okay, and then we're going to lift and push all the way back, just a nice quick little pigeon, and then pull forward and rotate to the other side. So whatever you can do in terms of not putting any pain, pushing through pain, but trying to kind of push possibly a little bit of mobility, okay, and then take that leg and push back. Perfect. And then let's go ahead and come to standing. So we're going to take a little bit of a wide base of support. So feet just outside your hips, hinge forward over those legs, and then let your hips kind of shift left and right. Get some movement through the hips still and the low back. Stretch the hamstrings a teeny bit. So I have a nice long break, 20 seconds, not quite the same. Go ahead and pull one leg up, interlacing your hands around the front of the knee. Rotate through the ankle, and then we're going to take that same leg, pull back, and lift your opposite arm. Tuck the hips under. Same leg, cross over your left knee, and then sit as low as it's comfortable for you. Little figure 4 sit, and then come up. We'll go to the other side. So if you're choosing not to go super heavy with your weights, maybe don't hold such or go for such a long break. So make sure that you need the break. Facilitate whatever is needed. Okay, same side. You're going to go up, tuck the hips under, feel that hip flexor open, stretch the quad a teeny bit, and then cross that ankle over the opposite knee, and then sit back and down. That figure 4 stretch. Okay. All right, we're going to start off with our squats. I'm going to be holding my bell low. If you have access to a bar, be a great time to use that as well. I have access to a bar, but I figure most of you might not, so I'm just going to stick with what we've got, what most people might have. And if you're limited on heavy weights, then like I said, try to get a few more reps. The heavier that you go, then the slower your reps are going to be. Okay, ready, set, and go. Sitting back on those heels. You're finding as much range as works for you. If you would like to hold a goblet squat, feel free. Puts a little more load on your thoracic spine and your core. Dig in through those heels. Feel the glutes engage. Knees need to stay same direction as that second and third toe. Okay, time. We get 20 seconds and we're going to go into our deadlift. So that's where I'm going to grab my 50s. Make sure the core is strong. It's the biggest deal here. Tighten up through the upper back and then lift. Use the glutes to drive the upper body up. Your upper back is supporting the hold on the dumbbells, and the core is supporting the low back. Push the hips back. So this is your hinge. Time. All right, set those down. Enjoy your 20-second break. And we're going to go into static lunges. 5. Try to use these 40s, one per side. Remember, you go the pace that works for the load that you chose. I want to try to get my hips squared off, my core engaged, and power through the front heel to get that front glute. Time. All right, set those down. And then we're going to be in the other side. Squaring off the hips, knee and toe lines up. Here we go. Use the core. Time. All right. Take a little break. Woo. Okay, I'm going to hold 140 per side, so one at a time. We're going to do a Patrick step, sliding the weighted side, the knee past the toes. Good old knees over toes guy. These are extremely beneficial, helpful, and effective for building the musculature that you need to have a healthy knee over toe pattern. So you're getting a little, there's our timer, getting that little stretch through the quad or through the Achilles, the calf. Now we're going to get that other side and go. So our progression, and we've done it before, is to put your heel or foot on a slant or to step down off a step or a curb. So then you have a little more range. I like this for now, for where I'm at. Square off those hips so you don't go past any sort of pain point. Time. Okay, we get to give our grip a little break. If you want to hold support for that low slider lunge, feel free. Okay, so your front leg, you got a long lunge, hip width. You're lifting off your front heel high onto the toes and then sliding back. So you want your front knee to cross way beyond those toes as long as it doesn't cause pain. That's why I'm not using weight, because I want my range And I want to feel my back hip flexor get a nice stretch. So you kind of get a little time. Lean back, get that hip flexor tucked to open. Square off. See, no weight, I don't really need the break. It's a real thing. Added weight adds up. Here we go. So check in with those hips. As you slide forward, we are not shifting toward our open side, right? Keep everything squared off. How far, woo, can you bend that knee over the toes? 3, 2, and 1. Okay, come to your hands and knees. We get a little mobility sneak in. Let's go into some cat-cows while we're waiting. And we're going to hit up a dirty dog. So the big goal here is to keep the hips steady and stable, holding the core. Don't allow your hips to shift, and raise your knee out to the side. So I find I need to put quite a lot of weight, body weight, into my right arm. Keep the hips level. This is a great opportunity to use a mirror, or maybe your left hand if you can tell. So we want to get hip mobility, that lateral external rotation. Okay, back to our cat-cows. Inhale to open, exhale to round. Inhale to open, exhale to round. One more. Okay, level off, build the core. Now we're going to push into our left hand a little more. Maybe you don't get as high on one side. It's good to note. Are you tight? Or is it stability and strength that we're lacking on our supporting side? Hold those hips level. So don't shift away to try to get more height. 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're going to go back to our squats. Knees and toes line up. We're going to sit back on those heels, holding the chest tall. 3, 2, and go. Remember, you find your range where your knees don't hurt, what your hips are prepared for, where you can keep your core involved. But then over time, hopefully you can start getting deeper and deeper. So I'm not going very deep today. That's okay. So we're staying healthy. 3, 2, 1. All right. Deadlifts. Okay, so this time, I'm going to stay this way. We want to hinge instead of squat. 3, 2, lock the core. Engage the glutes. Focus where you want to put the work. I don't know why I'm counting, but that's okay. You can count if you want to. Time. All right. Back to our lunges. Ten seconds to start. 3, 2, and go. Keep your push. Work for your break. Time. 80-pound lunge is not easy. 3, 2, and go. Line up that knee and toe. Both sides. Solid foundation, but you're putting more work into the front glute. Time. All right. Patrick's up is next. 4, 3, 2, go. Line up, knee, toes, and hips. Drive as far forward as you can, lining up knees and toes. Time. So again, grab a mirror or keep track. 3, 2, and go. Start to learn which side has a harder time cooperating. Be ready for it. Time. Okay, we're going to hit that low slider. How low can you get? How tucked can you be? That back, slide, and push. Slide, push. Squared off hips. Pull that back hip under, the tailbone tucking. So your body does lean back a bit on this one. You can also, if you have a lot of pain, possibly in the front knee, you can lift that foot and put it on something elevated. If you have a side like me, you're a little timid with, not quite sure how it's going to feel, start slow with a little more support, a little less range, and as it feels good, you can push into it a little bit deeper. Okay, back to your hands and knees. You're going to go through that cat-cow and then our dirty dog. Go this way. 3, 2, and go. See if you can keep your hips stable. Squared off. You have to use your core in case you haven't felt that. Lots of flexion on your supporting side. Other side. Oh wait, we hit our little stretch first. I'll take it. Reach those arms forward. Let's just hit a nice child's pose this time. And then we're going to come back up. Other side. Lean on to that lifting side, the arm. Find flexion in the belly. Try to keep your knee in about a 90-degree angle. Time. Okay. One more round through. Starting off with squats. Knees and toes line up. It's fine if they're a little bit angled out, but they need to be angled the same direction. And then you're watching to make sure the hips are dropping. So the hips drop as opposed to the chest drops forward. Now, if as the hips dropping back and down, your chest needs to come forward a little bit to balance, that's fine. But you need to keep your shoulders above the hips, making sure that you're squatting down as opposed to just hinging back. That's our deadlift move. All right, done there. These guys, the deadlifts and the lunges. Whew. And go. Hold the core, push the hips back, use those glutes, time. Struggling with grip, you can get those little grip straps. Here we go. And go. Isolate that hamstring and glute as much as possible. Of course, other things are going on, but that's where our focus is. Time. Oh, stepping forward. So tough. Woo. Okay. 3, 2, and go. Time. Patrick step. Next. 3, 2, and go. 3, 2, and 1. Set your elbows on your knees. Couple cat-cows here. 5, 4, 3, and go. Try not to twist in the hips, swivel. It's tough when you're weighted on one side and working on one side. This is where extra core really comes in handy and into play as well. Okay. Here we go. Low slider, tuck under, slide forward. 'See if I can get that knee further forward. 2, and 1. Okay. Second side. Tuck under, engage. So eventually, if you're not today, we'll be holding dumbbells either side, adding some load, more resistance, building that progressive overload. Whew. All right. Go into your cat-cow. If you would like to try, you can do a straight leg. It's much more difficult. I'm not sure how long I'll go for it. Lots of core. Trying to keep that pelvis neutral. You got it. Try to hold. Try to keep the legs straight. Flex the foot. Time. Whew. That's a lot more intense on the core. All right, other side. Stick your leg out. Get your pelvis stable and neutral. Time. Whew. All right, there you have it. Different kind of heat, different kind of load. It's always everything different. Heavy, time, space, changes it up. I don't know about you, but I would not have been able to sustain my weight choices for most things without those breaks. Bring that right leg forward, left leg back. Push into that left hand. Kind of just let that side, the left side roll down and open up. Let your hips Move around. Feel the pull where you like. Okay, slide back, getting those hamstrings, reaching the chest forward, pulling that hip back. Sometimes flexing your quad will help get a little better stretch through the hamstring. Okay, go ahead and try and use the core. Lift the leg up and out, and then we'll go into a little bit of a groin stretch. So plant your foot onto the ground, and then slide your hips back. I'm going to curl my toes under on that left side, stretch to the bottom of the foot. Arms are forward, that leg is out, kind of in a funky child's pose. Perfect. All right. And then go ahead and take that your right leg, bring it back up, and let's go into your pigeon. Bringing your foot across. It's up to you how far forward you want to put the leg, squaring off the hips. So if you can get down to your elbows, great. If not, if something doesn't feel right once you're there, don't push it. You want your pelvis square to the ground. Maybe see if you can grab your back foot with your right hand. So push your foot into the hand, dropping that left front hip flexor toward the ground even more. Perfect. Okay, push into your hands, switch up. Left leg's gonna come forward. Feel free to shift around through the hips. Just like we did on the other side. I really like doing this. It's shifting around. I feel like it can get a little bit deeper into some of the craziness that's going on through the hip and the pelvis. You can feel that stretch through the low back on the side. Maybe the IT band. Okay, slide back and get your hamstring. Again, remember, if you have any inflammation in your hamstring tendons, those sits bones, don't aggravate it here. This is not the place to push. So I'm kind of staying chill myself. Okay, and then let's put that leg straight out to the side. Curl those right toes under, and then slowly sit back. Wherever feels good for you. So if you need to hold support on the knee, hold support on the knee. If it's good, let it go. Make sure you're breathing here. Intentional breath. Okay, drive forward, bringing your left leg across, back into your pigeon. And then again, if it feels good to settle onto your hips, settle onto your hips. Maybe your elbows, but pull that back hip forward, front hip back. And then see if you can grab that right foot with your left hand on this side. Oh. Breathe. Think back over your session. What went well? What could you have done more of? Don't beat yourself up over it. Just recognize and maybe be willing to push more next time. A lot of times, especially if you're working out every day, as we are, as I hope you are, then it is what it is. Day in, day out, everything's just a little bit different. Some days are much more intense than others. A lot of it can have to do with what you ate, when you ate, how you slept, what you've already been up to, what maybe is tired and fatigued and not recovered from yesterday. So we do a lot of switches up and changes. We don't keep a specific routine or schedule, just to kind of try to throw the body into different needs each and every day. So it can't really adapt too well, but hopefully getting healthier and stronger. All right. Fantastic job. Another day down. I'll see you again tomorrow.